Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here at NAB 2025, and this is Peter from FilmLight. He's going to fill us in on what's new, and we're going to talk trends and other stuff. So where do you want to begin? You guys just recently made some introductions.
Yeah, so we just launched Baselight for Mac, which is kind of the big news. We've traditionally been a Linux-based platform and had some assist software that ran on Mac, but we're now releasing the full Baselight software completely standalone for smaller shops who don't want to invest in Linux hardware, or for larger shops who want to expand just maybe with a smaller room with a lower hardware increase. So it's the same Baselight software that you get on Linux in terms of features. You can do everything you would do on a full Linux system, but you can now run it on a Mac as well.
So you expect that you'll get more users working in different, as you said, different locations, different areas, because they don't have to pay a lot of money for Linux computer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Apple has done a really great job with their Apple Silicon chips, and you can get some great performance. Still not, quite to the level of the high-end Linux hardware running NVIDIA GPUs, but still, sufficient for a lot of color grading tasks. And for a lot of people who don't necessarily need to be on the bleeding edge of performance all the time, the Mac is a great option, and of course allows them to easily run other software. So if they need to, step into Nuke to do a little VFX work, or step into Avid or Premiere to do some editing, they could do that all in the same system. So,
where in the past they would have to completely move to a different system.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, you have other news as well.
Yeah, so the other big news today is that we officially launched the Baselight version 7 beta. That's a major upgrade, version 7 for us, with a lot of new tools and features in it. A lot of it was kind of laid by the groundwork in version 6. We introduced a new, what we call our Flexi architecture, which is for supporting machine learning and AI algorithms. So we're really building on top of that with version 7. We have a whole bunch of new machine learning tools for helping people draw mats and do automated rotoscoping and really refine mats. So if they're isolating just someone's hair or someone's skin, it's a lot quicker to get a really, really tight mat to isolate that part of the image. And also enhanced tools for selecting mats and combining mats that may come from a VFX pipeline or from an animation pipeline. And then a bunch of new color tools as well. We have a tool for doing texture smoothing to help with beauty work, and just doing kind of the day-to-day things a colorist needs to do. Some tools for enhancing sharpness and detail, and doing green screen spill suppression. A lot of new features are packed in there. And also new features for conforming, for matching existing timelines. We have a tool which can automatically resize the image to match your offline. So if in an editorial they've done some resizing, repositioning, even animated camera moves of the image, you can now, with our machine learning tool, Baselight will match that exactly. So you don't have to worry about getting the right metadata from editorial to match those moves, or worse, matching them by eye. It's now kind of fully automated. So some of those kind of daily tasks that people have to deal with that maybe aren't as creative, but they need to, check off to start the actual fun creative color correction process, we're trying to automate that as much as possible. So.
Is there a learning curve for the AI tools, and are the more traditional colorists embracing it? Or are they like, I don't know?
Yeah, no, I think everybody's been pretty open arms about it, pretty eager to get their hands around it. And I think a lot of it is because our approach is that we're really looking to, as I said, kind of remove some of the more menial tasks a colorist would have to do. So instead of like hand drawing a shape, they can now just select the object they want, and the computer will draw the shape for them. So it's still, the creativity is still on them to figure out where they want to push the colors, what they want to do inside that shape, but some of the less creative tasks are now automated. And we tried to make it as well so that you can recover as easily as possible if the tool doesn't quite do what you want. So, a lot of the kind of like generative AI tools that grab headlines out there, it's kind of like a slot machine. Like you put in a prompt, sometimes you get a great result, sometimes you'll get trash, and small tweaks could end in very different results. So we're kind of staying away from that side of things for now. We're working with more deterministic machine learning tools where they're kind of much more predictable. And if for some reason it doesn't do exactly what you want to do, we give you extra handles to have creative control over it and adjust the control. So it's not just like a slot machine that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. It's an actual tool you can depend on and have creative control over. So, yeah.
I was going to say, so the beta started today?
Yep, officially released today. So yeah, if any of our customers didn't get the notice, they can just email our support team to sign up for the beta, and they can download it and start playing with it. And it's for both Mac and Linux, just like the full Baselight software now. So,
okay,
yeah.
Great. That was my next question. You answered it already. So where can people go to find out more?
So they can go to our website, filmlight.ltd.uk, and it'll talk more about Baselight. Yeah, we have other software that kind of comes off of Baselight as well. The daylight software, which is for dailies transcoding, and Nara, which is another thing that we're updating here at NAB. So Nara 2.0 includes additional features. Nara is a tool really for people at the post house who aren't a colorist, who aren't sitting at a Baselight, but still need to deal with different types of raw media, so camera original material, large EXR files, all that kind of stuff. So what we were seeing is that a lot of people, like a producers and stuff at a post house, would need to take up time in the color suite just to see images, because there are these large camera files that they can't view on their laptop or whatever. So Nara is a device which basically does real-time transcoding, so they can browse the images just in a web browser. They can keep track of how much storage a project is taking up. And there's a whole plugin architecture where they can put in custom plugins to upload, to Aspera or whatever kind of file transfer service you're using. And what we're introducing at NAB is the ability to transcode as well. So if the producer needs to quickly make a QuickTime version of an IMF or a QuickTime version of a Sony Venice RAW sequence, they can now do that all directly in the web interface of Nara. So we're continuing to develop that product as well.
Very cool. Before I let you go, I know that your tools were used on the show Shogun.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the other shows and films that, just off the top of your head?
That's a tricky one, yeah, because we have a lot of productions all around the world using it, and it's a mix of high-end feature films and episodic TV shows and commercials. I don't have a list off the top of my head, sorry.
But that's good. No, you talk
Yeah.
about segments that you guys work with. So,
Yeah.
well, thank you.